Hi, welcome to Golden Years. I'm Lori Betts. This month, my special guest is Chief Tim Sopkovich from Brunswick Hills Police Department. So come on back, and we're going to have an update about what is going on in the hills.
I'll be right back. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
You're watching The Bat.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
Welcome back to Golden Years. I am interviewing Chief Tim from Brunswick Hills Police Department. Thank you for coming on my show this month.
It's great being here.
And since I am so involved in seniors of Medina County and Brunswick Hills, because our store is in Brunswick Hills, I always want to offer my viewers what is going on in the community. But first, let's hear about your background. What is your background before you became chief?
I became chief in Brunswick Hills in 2011. I love this community. It's a great police department to work for. I got a lot of good officers that are working here in Brunswick Hills. But prior to that, I started my law enforcement career in Cuyahoga County in 1994 with the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office. There I was in pretty much every unit you could work in there. The majority of my time was spent in the Detective Bureau of Narcotics, investigating high-profile crimes in Cuyahoga County. I was attached to the SWAT team there. For many years, I did the sniper overwatch for the team, and also as an entry team member. And with that, the tactical background that I had, I decided to take another career change and take a different path in my life. And
A little quieter?
Not so much. I spent the next 5.5 years overseas, mainly assigned to Baghdad. I was responsible for dignitary protection detail, and I did that for 5.5 years, and came back home in 2011 and was hired on with Brunswick Hills Police Department and worked my way up until the rank of Chief of Police. So.
And we're glad to have you in Brunswick Hills. I hear a lot of good things are happening in that department.
Yes, there are. We did have our little struggles a couple years ago with getting financial status kind of worked out. Thanks to the taxpayers, they did see the need to keep the police department, and with that, I was able to start up some different programs. The main thing was just adding adequate police officer personnel to the department, upgrading some of the equipment. But the main thing is just getting officers out on the road, getting them in the community, and kind of helping out at wherever we can.
Now, years ago, you used to have the senior program, and I know when Sergeant Steve, I do miss him, he used to call, or maybe Helen or Ellen even helped out a little bit, call seniors just to do a phone call, just to say, hi, how are you, what's going on?
Yeah, that program, it was there way before me. It kind of lost its juice, and we weren't getting as many people. So this past year, I did start up the Senior Watch program again, and it is very a great resource for people that live in our community that are elderly that may need some help. It could be they have loved ones that don't live in the area, and this is a way for us just to interact with them to make sure that they're okay. We have a lot of volunteers that have kind of helped out start this program. Some of them are residents in the township. And the way the program works is some people that maybe loved ones go on vacation and they're leaving an elderly family member at home, and they just wanted us to stop in and check on them. once a day or maybe make a phone call to them. So we have 3 different ways that they can check in with us. Some of them are calling in and they'll actually talk to Ellen and make sure that they're okay, and they'll just give us an update. If we don't hear from them during that day, then we'll send a police officer over there and make sure everything's okay. And then some of them are where we call them, and if we don't hear, we'll go out there. And then the more intense one is if somebody is maybe bedridden or something, we have volunteers that'll go to the house and check on them once a day.
That's awesome.
We did have Nate over at Plum Creek Assisted Living. When I was talking to him about this program, he offered some training for our police officers and some of our volunteers. There at the home, they have all their workers go through if somebody's fallen, how do you pick them up, how do you help them out? Well, police officers, we get the basic first aid stuff, but maybe not how to move somebody that maybe has fallen. And so Nate is it's an online course, so a couple of our officers have gone through that, and he's just offered his assistance wherever needed. If maybe we do need maybe a caseworker or somebody from his facility, he's also volunteered to send them out with their officer to kind of help somebody in the community. So it's a good partnership that we have.
It's a good partnership, good tie-in.
Yeah.
You could help on each other's resources.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the program's working out really well. There is that interaction that I think is great with between officers and the residents. Just last week we had a hearing impaired gentleman that needed the program's help. I was able to contact one of our volunteers that lives in the township that knows sign language. So that volunteer came in and assisted the police officer. We go out to the house and we kind of get a basic medical background of the person, so if there is that emergency, it's readily on hand for our fire personnel or police personnel so that we can get them to the hospital. So our volunteer resident helped out our police officer. We filled out the proper paperwork, displayed it on their refrigerator, and it kind of built a nice bond. Throughout the rest of the week, I had 2 police officers. Once a day they would stop in around 5 o'clock, make sure everything was okay. And they kind of just, the officers, they were responding back to me that at first, well, I don't know, it's really not police work when you're out there, but as the week went by, they were really excited and they got to build a good friendship with the man, so it was a good time.
And so many seniors need that relationship, because if you said like the kids are out of town and they don't talk to anybody,
right?
And that's like half these scams when those occur. We're going to talk about that. Yeah. They believe the person on the other side of the phone. So,
right.
To have that communication open line with your officers, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's working out pretty good. We've also, we have assistance from the fire department so that if there is an emergency, we can get into the house. We have the lockbox program. These locks are keyed to the resident, so the only fire personnel or police personnel can get access to it. So what we do is the police department purchased the lockboxes off our Brunswick Hills Fire Department, and they're very regulated on who can get in and who has access to the locks, but that'll give us access inside the home. So if there's somebody that has a medical emergency, that's a way for our first responders to get inside the house pretty quickly.
And that's needed.
And that's free of charge. The police
no
department,
charge to the resident.
we pick up the charge on that, the cost of that, so that it is a needed tool and access point for us to get into some of the homes, and it's very secure and closely guarded by our first responders. They have access to it.
That's good. So if I install a lifeline, can I suggest, and the person lives in the hills, that a lockbox could be put on their door?
Absolutely. Have them contact the police department or the fire department. The fire department will also, they'll go out and make sure that just so that they're familiar with their surroundings, so that they know, maybe the best access point for them to get in is through a kitchen or a front door. So police and fire, when they put the lock boxes out, we want to kind of know where we're going or what we're walking into so that we can help you.
It's a good idea. And then you're inside the home and you could take suggestions and say, if it's like kind of crowded, because there's crowded houses and empty houses. It's just everyone lives differently.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this? Because when I go to people's houses, the big issue is their address.
Yes, the fire department, they have address signs.
Okay.
They're available. They're nice reflective signs you can get. I don't know the cost on that. If you call me or email me at the station, I'll put it
Okay.
up or put it on our website. But
And that is so needed, because when you're in a hurry, the fire department, to get to someone's house and you can't read their address, or they don't have the address on their mailbox, time is of the essence.
oh yeah, and right now with some of the locations where they put the addresses on the mailbox with the snow and the snow getting pushed up, or at night, it's not very well lit out here. So when officers are going to a house, it's always best to have two locations of the address put on, at least on the front of the house, front entrance, and also on the mailbox. And the mailbox signs that the fire departments that they have are really good.
Okay. All right, let's talk real quick about some of the scams that are still out there.
Yeah.
I know there's one that, because my mother-in-law got this call, that the grandchild will call and say, Graham, I need some money, can you help me?
Yeah.
Is that still lurking out there?
Unfortunately, several of our residents in Brunswick Hills have become victims of some of these scams, and there's different ones out there. They'll contact you on the house phone or through email addresses, and send you an email or call you that a loved one is being held in jail somewhere, and if you just give us your credit card information or bank information, they'll be okay. With a lot of those scams, if any resident gets something that where a loved one or somebody might be in danger, come to the police station. We'll help you out. We'll try to find that person, and we'll be able to determine if it's a scam or not. But a lot of people, their checking accounts, credit cards are compromised, and these individuals that are doing it clean them out. Some of the other scams that we're getting a lot of right now is tax time. So a lot of people are getting the call that the IRS has a warrant out for their arrest, that if they don't come forward and pay them this much money or give them their credit card information, again, it's more likely it is a scam. If the IRS has something that you owe on back taxes, they're going to send you a certified mail, a letter. Just don't give any of your credit card information or bank account information over online or through emails. And there are several other scams that are out there. So if you're just concerned or you're worried, think twice, come in, talk to one of us at the police station, and we'll help you out.
And now when the snow disappears and spring starts, I know last year the scam was when you're outside, like a supposedly tree company will come up and they'll say, let's go look in your backyard to see, what trees we could get rid of.
Yeah.
And then his maid is in the house,
Yep. We've had two major storms that came through this Brunswick Hills area this past summer. And same thing, we'll have guys with the tree service or roofers or contractors, they'll come in and kind of distract you, get your attention to go one way while they're going upstairs and stealing your jewelry. So we've had a couple of those reports over the past couple of years, not really that often, but you do have to be aware and watch who you're bringing into your home. If you do have somebody that is coming out to do legitimate work, just research them, check them out through the Better Business Bureau. But some of the guys that are just driving by, knocking on the door, if they don't have legitimate credentials as far as their business ID or cards, or you could even tell by some of their vehicles they're driving.
Don't trust.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and you're going to share with me what else is going on in your department.
All right.
We need a claim number?
When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
Welcome back to Golden Years. I am interviewing Chief Tim from Brunswick Hills Police Department, and he is sharing with me all the wonderful programs they have for you residents in the hills. And if you ever have an issue or if you ever have a question, all you need is to call the police department. Miss Ellen will help you through anything. And one thing I just learned about is Vacation Watch.
Yes. We have vacation watches. A lot of times we have several of our communities where the elderly go to Florida, where it's nice and warm right
The
now.
snowbirds. No, I talked to my sister-in-law in the Villages today. It's 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I said, you don't have the snow. We
That's
have the
only
snow.
a couple days, though. You gotta
Exactly.
bear with
And just
it.
in the morning, so it'll go warmer.
But the vacations watches are set up. You can just come in. You can download our form off our website, or you can come in, fill it out. It's another secure communication to the police department. The officers will make an attempt to check out the residents once a shift. So
Wow.
3 times someone's driving by or looking at the house, making sure everything's all right. If there is something that they see that's not right, they'll contact you, or they'll go and investigate and see what the problem is. They're real good on it. I mean, the officers are out there all night long, and they're checking them out. But it's real easy for us to fill out that information and give us a line of communication on how we could better serve you.
Okay, so they could either make the phone call or do it on email or just walk in and...
Just walk in and fill it out, yeah.
That's very good. That's a nice program. Because when the seniors go away, they're like, what about my house?
Yeah. And again, a couple of years ago, the reason why we're doing it more than once a day is a couple of years ago, some of this community people knew that, wow, they haven't been there for 2 or 3 months, and with the snow, no tire tracks are coming in or out. So now with the officers coming in, checking it always looks like somebody is living there or somebody just left. And we haven't had as many homes being burglarized. So it's kind of, I think we're doing a good job on that.
That's good to hear.
Yep.
A good, safe community. Pill disposal. Do you do
Yes.
that in this
Yes,
station?
We have a box that you could just dispose of all your old medications, expired, or pills that you're no longer taking, with kind of like the overdoses and things that we're having. Some of these individuals that are taking the drugs, they don't care what it is as long as they can get their hands on it. So sometimes, and I'm not saying every family member, but some family member might see some pills in the house and take them, and you maybe are no longer taking those pills, or they're no longer used to you, but somebody else might take them. And this is a good way to dispose of them, get them out of the hands of someone that's going to maybe harm themselves, or So we have our box in the lobby at the police station. It's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You just come in and drop off the pills in there. Every couple of weeks, we have the DEA, they come in and pick them up and dispose of them the proper way.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know. You could just walk into the lobby and
Walk
do it.
in the lobby. It's a secure location. Another thing the lobby has, we have cameras throughout in the lobby and also the parking lot. I know earlier you mentioned the scams and stuff, but a lot of other scams are people are selling things on Facebook or Craigslist. We have an internet purchase area at the police department, so you could pull your vehicle right there, meet the person that's coming to buy or sell the goods, and it's always being recorded. So it's
I
another
like
safe
that.
way to still, barter, trade, exchange, sell with somebody on the internet. But a lot of times you don't know who this person is. You don't know if you're selling Cavs tickets, if they're there to rip you off and just take your cash and not give you the Cavs tickets. But
I don't think they have to worry about the Cavs right now.
No, hopefully they'll start kicking it back in. But it's a good way to also show trust in another person. If the other person doesn't want to buy or sell and meet you at the police station, then it's probably a good idea that they don't want to do business with you and they're up to something else. So.
Yeah. And that's a good relationship point for you guys too. For your residents.
Yeah.
You're helping them and they're helping you.
Yeah, and they feel secure. It's being monitored. We record it. Not all the times are police officers on station, but we're out and about. So.
Okay. What about years ago, you used to have the food pantry in the station?
Yes. Oh, the food pantry is it's growing and getting bigger and bigger. A lot of thanks to the Brunswick Eagles. Every year they've made humongous donations to us around Christmas time that pretty much stockpiles our food pantry. We can't get quite through the year. We have been getting more and more families. Every couple weeks there's somebody that is in need, and we'll go ahead and just get a lot of foods ready for them. They'll come and pick it up at the station. And with that also, we have a lot of residents in the township that, weekly they're bringing stuff to us to continually add to the pantry. So it's a kind of really good trade. There's always, again, the lobby's always open. There's a little spot where anybody that wishes to make donations, they drop off the food there, and then we stock it up in our pantry, and when somebody's in need, we're able to get those out to someone. In fact, just yesterday we just had a family that was in need, and we were able to give them a lot of food, canned goods. Our perishable goods, it's probably best if somebody wants to donate that way to give us a credit card, maybe like an Aldi's gift card for $10 or $20.
Not a credit card, a gift card.
Gift card, yeah.
Okay.
A gift card. And those gift cards, they can go get their milk and bread. It's kind of hard for us to keep that kind of stuff there, but this past year, a lot of people have been very generous in their donations to the food pantry. I mean, a lot of turkeys were given to us, and a lot of turkeys were given back out to the community. So if anybody is still in need or knows a family member that is wanting some food, we could definitely help them out. And we're also taking those donations, so it keeps it going.
That's good. That's a good system.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what goes on inside of a house.
Yeah.
And there are times that people have struggles, misfortunes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times officers are called out there to handle some situations, and then they see that there's a dire need for some help or some assistance, and then we just get the food together, and I'll throw it in my car, and we'll take it over there and deliver it to them.
That's good. So every day is different for you.
Every day's
Because you never
different.
know, and hats off to the officers, sergeants, because you never know what you're going to walk through.
Yeah.
When you ring that doorbell or you go on a call, we all know from history anything can happen.
Yeah.
So thank you for being there for all the people that are in need and who have questions and who need answers. So thank you. So are you, the bike rodeo, does that still take place with the Optimist Club? That's how far back I go with the police department.
Last time we did that was just before our levy. We had it at Drug Mart. We're going to try to get that going back up again this year.
Okay.
Some of the things the community events kind of fell to the wayside. Main goals of the department, once we did get our financial situations set up, was to get more police officers on the road. So it's been very time consuming. We've given 2 police tests, and off those 2 police tests, we've hired 5 new police officers in the township. So there's a lot of training, a lot of guys that need to get that experience in. Finally, this year I'll be up to 9 patrolmen. There'll be 3 patrolmen assigned to each shift, with 2 sergeants assigned right now. I'm looking right now to try to potentially promote another one and hire someone else. But that's given us enough coverage for the township 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now that I have that, now I can get back into finding some of these good programs that we used to have and getting them going again. We already have Sergeant Boers. He's been in several of the churches and the daycare centers. He does the active shooter and workplace violence drills with them. So he's finishing that up. So he'll have a couple more businesses in the township that he'll do. And with that, we'll bring back the bike rodeo in the summertime. We did have in the wintertime, through the police association, Brunswick Hills Police Association, every year they have breakfast with Santa. So we get a lot of names through Medina County United Way, River Styx Tavern on Marks and Center. They donate their service and their time and their facility to us. and we're able to take in a lot of children and families and have breakfast with Santa. So we've been doing that for a couple of years. We have, every year in April, we have the breakfast with the Easter Bunny, or brunch with the Easter Bunny. Again, we're planning on doing that this year. It'll be held at Skyview Lodge. We already got some of the arrangements already set with that, but we have like little Easter egg hunt, and the kids will have a brunch. We break them up down to their age groups, and but last year we had several hundred kids that came in. So last year we had it at Goodyear's barn. This year we're going to have it at Skyview, and we'll see where the next year will take us. But we're just trying to get through our community, use assistance and help from some of our community members, and use their resources that they can donate to us. So
that's good. You have a wonderful relationship with the community, so that's kudos to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, share with me real quick before we run out of time. You were talking earlier off camera about your motorcycle, and you're in an organization.
Yes. I belong to police and fire. It's a public service motorcycle organization, the Warthogs. And what we do is we're a nonprofit 501c program. And over the past couple of years, our main purpose is to help fallen officers or fallen firefighters or EMS dispatchers, correction officers. But over the past couple of years, we were able to give back to some of our children. So we have toy runs where we go to local hospitals and donate a year's supply of toys to those hospitals. And it's not just like a teddy bear run. I mean, we're giving them iPads and stuff that hospitals could, when a sick child's there, they could use. This year, we're kind of doing some things a little bit different. We've partnered with the Cleveland Soapbox Derby track in Cleveland, and we're going to have a Super Kids race. It's going to be a race for kids that have special needs. So we're looking for kids that may have special needs, and the event will be held on April 28th. And that'll give a kid an opportunity to be like everyone else that's had the pleasure of racing down the Soapbox Derby track in Cleveland. They'll be teamed up with another driver in the car, and they'll get the experience of being a real race car driver for that race. So, yeah.
And so that's the first time?
Yeah, this will be the first year that we're doing it with the Cleveland Soapbox, and we're already expecting a pretty good turnout. So it's free for any kid with special needs from 7 to 21. The only thing is there's a weight limit on that, so we got to, for the safety of the vehicles, it's 150 pounds. With that, the first and second place winner of that race, they'll have the opportunity to go to Akron and race at the Akron National race.
Oh, very good.
In the summertime, so it's going to be a good event. We have a lot of people that are supportive of it and helping us out.
Very good, very good. So good luck to that program too.
Thanks.
You guys are so busy.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work. Anything would you like to leave my viewers before we end the show? Advice?
Well, we're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not only are we out there doing the normal law enforcement stuff of looking for speeders and traffic enforcement, we're in your communities. The officers are following school buses. They're driving through your residential areas. We are looking for the bad guys that are coming through here or doing bad things. But more than that, we are trying to get back to our community. And if somebody needs anything, whatever it may be, stop in, run it by us. We're there to help.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for being on my show today. And thank you for being so good to your residents. Thank you for joining us on Golden Years, and we will see you next month. Have a good month.